Hi, this is Nat from Matter Nat Mindset, and today I want to share with you a powerful combination of tools that you can use to change fear, anxiety, even depression into more joy, more empowerment, and more confidence. Listen, we're not immune as humans to having feelings of anxiety, feeling depressed, unmotivated, and sometimes we can hit rock bottom. I know that I have been there. So don't judge yourself if you're there now or if you have been there before. But here's the thing, we don't want to stay there. And it's essential that we develop these tools and change our habits so we don't fall into those slumps. And if we start to go down those roads of fear, anxiety, even depression, we can catch it really early. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've gathered, like tools, lessons, ideas that I've gathered in the last 15 years that I have applied. Many of them now are habits, but once upon a time, I had to layer them. I had to start with one thing. But over the years, I have noticed exponential changes in my vibration, in my energy, in my focus, and yes, in my success, whether it's in my relationships, in my health, in my business. And you know what? Above all, I'm a happier human being. And money can't buy happiness. No award or gold medal can get it either. So really, it's an inside job. The most important thing that you can do as a human being is really learn about you and really connect with who you are. Know the things that you love. Know the things that bring you joy. Know the things that inspire you and empower you. So I hope today that you can learn some of these tools that you may resonate with and then apply them in your tool belt. So then the next time you start to feel worry creep in, or even fear or doubt, maybe even anxious feelings, you can catch it and you can nip it in the butt and shift it and in fact transform that energy from being a fearful state to actually being an empowered state. How amazing is that? So one of the things that I have learned is that when we are feeling low, we're feeling on this, let's say this frequency, but we want to get up here because here is where the high energy is, here is where the inspired ideas are and the feel good emotions, the success. You attract good things on this high frequency. But if you're used to operating here, then you may not be aware that you're actually operating on a low frequency. In fact, it's all relative. But what we want to do is keep climbing up this ladder and making a higher frequency our natural set point. So, what is fear and anxiety? Ultimately, it's our imagination being used in reverse to focus on images that we don't want. So, whether it's a fear of you failing, or whether that's a fear of ill health, or the fear of losing someone, or the fear of running out or not having enough, or the fear of criticism. You see, we all have these fears. However, it is in facing them that we claim more of our power back. So the first thing to know about fear and anxiety is it's really just ineffective use of our imagination. But a lot of these have been programmed and they can be triggered at any time. So one thing that I've learned is as a fear comes up, I become aware of the image I'm holding. And then I ask myself, what would be the polarity? What would be an image of me successfully having the result that I desire? I'll give you an example. So when I first started to have ice baths, in fact, the second time I did one, I got really paralyzed with the fear of failing. I wasn't afraid of dying in there or, something happening to my body. I was actually afraid of quitting. I was afraid that in front of a group of people that I wasn't going to make it. And I was also afraid, and I kept seeing my imagination. I just kept seeing myself getting out halfway. And I remember asking the facilitator at the time, and I said, you know what, I am actually really afraid. And I was vulnerable. Here I am, a mindset coach in front of all these people, but I was vulnerable. And I told him, I said, I'm actually really scared. I can do anything once. But doing it twice and doing it well, now that's coming up for me. So it was an opportunity for me to really shift something. That's when fear comes up, it's an opportunity, okay? And he said something to me that really changed so much. He said, you know what, Nat, the fact you're stepping in, you've already won, okay? Whether you stay in there for 10 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, you've already won just by you showing up. And the minute he said that, I saw myself relaxed in the bar. My image changed. My imagination started to work in harmony with the outcome that I wanted. And I saw myself calmly being in that bar and high-fiving Matt on the way out, saying, I did it, and him being really proud. And that's exactly what happened. But I had to shift the image first. Sometimes we can do all this mental work, but we actually need an abrupt change in our physiology, in our state. So I want to give you a few things for you to become aware of and for you to apply to help you shift your state that I have personally used that work, okay? Pick the ones that resonate. I will say, number one on my list, shifting my state of emotion is going to have to be exercise. Every single day that I move my body for at least half an hour with intention of movement, I'm not just talking about walking around the house tidying up. That to me is not exercise. I'm talking about intentionally moving the body, doing something for me has to be somewhat challenging. Okay, for me to get that peak state, I need to be doing something high intensity and moving my body. That will change my hormones. That's where our endorphins get released. Literally, we can feel down and out, depressed, and not feel like doing anything, and just will ourselves to go for that run, will ourselves to go for that, intense workout, and you watch how much different you feel afterwards, okay? So ask yourself, what exercise helps me feel really good when I do it? I noticed that the intense exercise helps me get in a more empowered, energized state, and the more slower exercises like yoga or Pilates really help open up and release energy. So I guess it really depends on what state you want to get into, okay? Exercise is number one. The second one I love is cold therapy. Cold therapy, whether that's a cold shower or an ice bath, or even putting your face in a bowl of water with ice in there and just putting it in 10 seconds and just doing it over and over for like 5 or 6 times just to really get the cold. You could even just put your hands under really cold water and wash your face with it. But ultimately, it is the cold therapy that can quickly change your state. What I love about this is within 10 seconds, you stimulate the release of shock proteins in your body, which is really triggering that flight or fright response. But with your breath, see, we have this automatic breath that comes up. It's like a survival mechanism. And we want to breathe, right? But as we breathe through discomfort, and in this situation, a controlled, uncomfortable situation, what actually happens is we train our brain that in uncomfortable situations, everything's all right. I can handle uncomfortable situations. And in fact, you can be calm in uncomfortable situations. But it is an environment you choose to step into. And that's the power of cold therapy. Not only is it fantastic to help you create that mental muscle of inner strength and empowerment, but it is incredible at what it does to your body. Now, after about 1 minute, you start to get through the toughest bit, okay? Because now the hormones have kicked in. Your hormones will release to heat up your system in a natural way. The more tense you are, the harder it is for your body to do its job. That gives you a clue about the law of nature. So relaxed states of being is what allows everything to work freely and perfectly in its own right. Whether that's birthing a child, yes, take it from me, I've birthed 3. I used my breath. The breath is the gateway, okay? So using our breath. Now, the second thing here is it's going to alkalize your system. It's going to reduce inflammation in your body. And at the 2-minute mark, you start to release dopamine levels at an amazing state, an amazing level, okay? Now, dopamine is that hormone that helps you feel relaxed. It's the feel-good hormone, and it also helps you stay calm. Your nervous system is poised. It's the parasympathetic nervous system that gets stimulated, essentially, as opposed to the automatic sympathetic system that can get triggered through flight fright response, releasing adrenaline. What we're doing is we're training ourselves to stay in a parasympathetic state, which is more calm. And you're going to feel calmer, you'll sleep better, your body will feel better. It's amazing. All right, the third thing is meditation. Just 5 minutes of meditation, whether that's listening to some guided meditation or silent meditation. But ultimately, it is calming your nervous system down and focusing on one point without getting caught up in thinking. Okay, and you're training your brain to see the space between thought and feel that space getting longer and longer. So you're not reacting to life, but rather responding. It gives your intellectual brain, your mind, a chance to rest and recharge. So meditation is such a powerful way to calibrate yourself and to change your state. Now, you can also use meditations that have theta waves or alpha waves, depending on the state you want to get into. I really love the silver meditations as well. They have theta waves behind them. And afterwards, I noticed my pineal gland being stimulated and it vibrates. You can actually feel it in your body. It starts to decalcify blocked energy. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to open up all the channels of energy. Another one I love is journaling. Okay, now this exercise I'm going to give you is so powerful. You're going to want to remember it. Okay, it's called a brain dump and replace. Okay, so the first thing we do is we spend a few minutes just dumping out every thought firing in our head, even if it doesn't make sense. It's okay. Give yourself full permission. So dump out all the thoughts, give yourself 5 minutes, and then scan through it and ask yourself, are these the thoughts my empowered version would be thinking? Are these the thoughts that the version of me who has achieved my goals and my dreams, would they be thinking these thoughts? And there's a good chance that not all those thoughts are empowered thoughts, but they may be depending on your state. But of course, you're using this also to shift from a negative, lower energy to a much higher, more empowered state. So as you go through that, just give yourself a bit of a score. Maybe it's 10% were, empowered thoughts, or maybe it was 0. That's okay. Now, the next part of the exercise is great. This is the fun bit. Now I want you to just spend a good 5 minutes. You can spend longer if you wish. Just writing all the thoughts you would think when you have achieved your dream life, when you have achieved your goal. No thoughts like, I love my life. I live the most magical life. I'm so grateful for being alive. This feels amazing. Every day feels like a dream. I just want to pinch myself. I can't wait to go on that next holiday. Here I am already on a holiday. My life is blah, 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 blah. Okay? You get to write whatever you want. You get to write from any state of being. But just write the thoughts even if you don't feel them. The point is not to feel them. The point is just to write them. Okay? So after a few minutes, just reread what you wrote and see if you can feel them. Just imagine, that would feel nice. Just imagine. Don't force yourself, just see if you can. And now ask yourself, out of this, how many of these thoughts are from my empowered version? The one who has achieved my dreams and goals. And you should notice a difference, sometimes a very big difference. And just carry that paper with you. And throughout the day, if you're feeling those old thoughts creep in again, just pull out that paper and just start reading those thoughts that you wrote. You don't have to believe them, but just think them. Okay? Now that's a very powerful way to instantly shift, and then throughout the day, keep shifting. Something so simple can work so effectively. And if it's an ongoing thing, well then just do it again the next day and just carry that paper with you that day. So it's a little bit of a security blanket at the same time, as well as a prescription, the antidote of those thoughts. Okay, so we have the exercise, we have the cold therapy, we have now meditation and journaling. The next one is really great and it's really funny because it's all about comedy. Laughing changes your state. And I must say, I used to find it really hard to laugh, but hanging around Matt all these years, Matt laughs at anything, even if he's in pain. It's really quite hilarious to watch. But just laughing for a few minutes. Use social media for you, right? This is a good chance to give yourself that permission to go and watch something that makes you laugh. That's invigorating. You know, I don't like laughing at other people's expenses. To me, that's not good karma. But I will laugh at a great comedian. And I love Mike McIntyre. He's so funny. So feel free to go look him up, check him out. In just a few short videos on YouTube, and bang, you can change your state. Hey, if you love cat videos, go for it. Whatever tickles your fancy and makes you laugh. Another thing you can actually do is you can look at yourself in the mirror and just start laughing. Okay? If that works for you, go for it. Laughing is medicine. I'm going to give you another one, and that is dancing. Putting on music and dancing, especially when you don't feel like it. So when your mood is low, your vibe is low, just put on your favorite tune, the one that makes you feel good, not a depressing tune. All right, you're on that frequency. We don't want to get you out of that frequency. And remember, your subconscious is always listening. So whatever you're listening to is being programmed there. So we want to make sure we're listening to great music with great lyrics, okay? The ones that pick you up. You know, it's so funny. If my children are in a bit of a funk, let's say, a bit grumpy or down and out, I will just literally start playing this song. It's called I Am Happy, I Am Good. And it's programming, I am happy, I'm good, right? And then they'll naturally just start singing it later on without even realizing, because I'm deliberately programming them to be happy adults. Go for it, okay? Music and dance, and truly dance like no one's watching. Don't be inhibited. If you need to close your windows and close your doors and just go for it for a minute, do it. Hey, if you have a fear of criticism, go for it anyway, and you can blast that fear as well out the window. All right, so there are 5 quick and powerful tools. There are heaps more that I have in the back tools, like from eating healthy, to lowering caffeine or going off caffeine. That's another thing, to not stimulate the nervous system, and alcohol. You see, over the years, I've got off alcohol. I am reluctant to have much caffeine because I notice how much it trips my nervous system. See, as you become more aware of yourself, your body, your mind, and how things influence you, environments, people, sort of music, what you watch. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. Actually, I don't watch any TV show, and I don't watch Netflix, because I would rather spend my time either having a nice bath or going for a run with one of my kids, or preparing or giving value, creating content, making a difference, or relaxing, having a sauna or getting a massage. You see, I want to make every minute that I am on this earth count. So in my waking state, I want to be the best I can be, and I really respect my body, so I want to give it the best I can. And you know what? The compound effect is absolutely extraordinary. My vibration, my mood. And so we're constantly wanting to go to that next level, that higher energy, more stable mood, unlearning those disempowering habits and behaviors and replacing them. The one thing to finish off, if you're changing a habit or an idea, don't just yank it out and leave it there open, because it will by law be replaced by a very similar habit, like stopping smoking, maybe you're drinking, or having more coffee, or whatever it is. So replace it with another habit. So for me, replacing caffeine, I will have either a turmeric latte, or I will have a cacao, like a nice ceremonial cacao, or I will also have maybe even a decaf mocha or something. So I want to reduce it, but I still want the same effect that I was trying to get, but in fact, I'm going to get it in a more therapeutic way This way, wow, isn't that a win-win? You've changed a limiting habit with a more empowering habit that's actually beneficial for you. So instead of watching Netflix on TV, maybe you can go and do a meditation, or maybe you can listen to an audio or a podcast for those 30 minutes or 10 minutes and just take some notes and apply that. You see, you can replace them. It's not that successful people have more time, it's that they've transmuted those ineffective uses and disempowering habits, replacing them with empowering ones. If you do these things, I promise you, you will prevent yourself from dipping really low and you will start moving up and up. If you want tailored help, if you want more specific help in achieving your goals, Matt and I are here to serve you. This is what we do, helping you create a successful life in all areas: happiness, health, wealth, business success, and confidence and freedom, self-expression, love, and all of the things that you desire. I think we are here to have it all and express ourselves freely, but it is done one brick at a time, okay? So be patient with yourself, be kind, be loving, and be tolerant, all right? All right, well, until next time, this is Nat. I hope you write your list, think of other ways, and get applying them. All right, I'll see you soon.